that's what you wanted to hear first thing in the morning. It is Nurses Uncorked giveaway time. Yes, it is. We are giving away for patrons, people that join and support the podcast. If you were thinking of doing it, now is the time. When we get to 25 patrons, we are giving away 3 giveaways.
3.
Right, Erica? Yeah.
Yep.
Erica's
My merch, your merch, and Nurses Uncorked merch. 3 separate giveaways.
Yeah, you have a great chance of winning. So 3 out of 25 will win, and they're great prizes. And we will include our already established patrons. So check it out if you would like to. The link is in the description of the podcast. I'm Nurse Jessica Seitz, along with Nurse Erica. We're Nurses Uncorked, the podcast that takes nursing facts with nursing comedy and makes a little cocktail out of it. So I have, you hear Nurse Erica is nodding along here with me. I have her alongside me, and I'm Nurse Jessica Seitz, and we've got a cool episode today. It's a combined episode, right, Erica? We've got 2 topics.
We're going to talk about a couple of things.
Yeah, I'll tell them what we're going to get into, and then we'll let Erica get some alcohol going here, get back to our routine, because we had 2 weeks of non-alcoholic beverages because we didn't want to scare the ANA lady.
Truth.
We took a break from that, right, Erica?
Yes, we did. We thought maybe we'll try to be professional.
Yeah. Even though I'm sure she's probably listened to at least one podcast, she probably knows, but that's okay. So this week we're going to talk about, Erica and I were on the road again. We were on the road again.
That's how it feels.
We went to Ohio. We're going to get into that and what the reason for going to Ohio was. And then in the second half of this week's podcast, we're going to talk about the cyber attack that went on at Ascension Hospital. I don't know tons about it. Erica's got a lot of details, but we're going to get into that and combine like our problem of the week and the enema.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting back to our normal routine here, at least for this week anyways. So take it away, Erica, with some cocktail or whatever you got.
All
what
right.
You got?
So I'm going to make a Bay Breeze. It's called a Bay Breeze. I love anything that has pineapple juice. So I was looking up different drinks that use pineapple juice. So, okay. It's only 3 ingredients. It's super easy. So in my Nurses Uncorked wine glass here, I've got ice and cranberry juice.
Why does it look you've been drinking it already?
I haven't added everything yet.
Oh, okay.
I just had to start it. So I've got cranberry juice and ice. Okay. Then I'm going to add some vodka here. I've got my cheap vodka poured out. Add that to taste. I might add more. And then pineapple juice. So I've got my little Dole pineapple juice. Pour that in. Mix it up. Probably going to add more vodka to it. We'll see.
Pineapple.
But it makes a pretty like pink color there. You can see. Yeah. So it's only vodka, cranberry juice, and pineapple juice.
Cheers. That sounds delicious.
That's really good. I love anything with pineapple.
That sounds
exceptional.
Good. Yay.
That's
Bay Breeze.
Bay
that's
Breeze.
That's a definite one. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So, Ohio. We went to Ohio. She's lusting it up, people. She's
adding a little to taste.
Little more in there. Yeah. Okay.
So we are like,
where'd we go? What'd we do?
We went to Columbus, Ohio for a rally. Nursing rally was on May 10th last week, put on by the family of the late Tristin Kate Smith. She is the nurse that took her own life, the ER nurse in Ohio last year, and left behind a letter to my abuser, which we've talked about on previous episodes. We had a episode with the family previously. I'll link that one in the description. And I have grown close to her father, Ron, since we originally spoke right after the letter was released. I believe it was October of last year. He and I
such a nice family. Nice family.
So nice. Yeah. We
really
speak regularly. And when he was planning this rally, he asked if I would come. He asked if you would come, if any other of our friends would come. And so we did. We hopped on a plane.
And Tina came. Yep. Good nurse, bad nurse.
Good nurse, bad nurse, host of that podcast.
And our lovely Julie was there.
Julie Murray Godby. She is the founder of oh God, what is it called? So bad. The Nurse Honor Guard.
Oh, yes.
She is the founder of that.
I started to have a brain fart myself. I was like, they pray? Yeah. That's what I was about to say. It's not what
they attend the funerals of nurses that have passed with permission. And they do a beautiful ceremony. Actually, I think I want to have her on as a guest maybe at one point and talk about it. That's beautiful.
She wore her whole getup. The whole getup.
Oh my gosh, she did.
So fancy.
The cape. Yeah. Yep. And I didn't know the history of the red on the cape that she talked about. Did you know that before?
No. I thought it was awesome, man.
Yes. So she's wearing like the white traditional nursing dress and cap. And then she has on the cape, which I'm sure people have seen the cape, historical pictures of nurses. But the inside is this beautiful red lining, like a satin. And she said during her speech that was purposeful because back in the day when nurses were on the battlefield treating soldiers and they needed help, they would wave the inside, the red cape, to get people's attention for help. I did not know that.
I'm laughing, but not because of that. But when we were there, so that getup she wears, I think, is from like this hundreds of years ago, several hundred years ago, right? Like
I don't know if it's that old. I don't know.
I think 18... she told me. Yeah, okay, 200.
I don't know. Yeah,
that's 200 years. We're in the year 2024, Erica.
Yeah,
so that is
okay. When was the Crimean War?
Wait,
I don't know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyways, the whole point is she had a nursing student, God bless nursing students, come up to her the other day and ask her if that's the uniform she started out in.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Julie was like, good grief. I know I'm old, but damn.
Poor Julie. Damn.
Yeah. She's like, I mean, seriously? Do I look like I just got revived from the grave? I'm like, poor nursing students. They don't know no better. They're probably thinking maybe 50 years ago she was wearing the cape to the hospital. Yeah. I don't know. Anywho, I had to laugh at that. I was like, God bless her. The student was trying to make conversation and it just didn't go well.
I did not catch that.
So
what was your take on the rally?
Well, first I want to say that I thought it was very brave of Tristin's family to, for lack of a better, rally up, because it was a rally. They anteed up and I don't want to say turned a bad situation into good, but they're trying to do good with Tristin's memory and keep Tristin's memory alive and help nursing. I mean, her father is obviously not a nurse. I mean, and her stepmother is not a nurse, but they value nurses, obviously, because Tristin was a nurse and they want to see right by what happened to her and make sure it doesn't happen to other people. So that was the first impression I had was just what perseverance and how strong of them to put on something like that, because it's a very hard thing to organize. I mean, to get all of that together. And her family combined with the Ohio Nurses Association, right, Erica?
Yes, they were there.
Yes, they helped, and correct me if I'm wrong, they helped pull things together with
I think
Tristin's family,
so. They
did
some, they because the Ohio Nurses Association had a rally prior to this, a couple weeks prior, and invited Ron, Tristin's dad, to come and speak at that. And then Yeah, because they are pushing support for legislation of an Ohio bill. It's HB 285. It's Nurse Workforce and Safe Patient Care Act there in Ohio that would involve staffing ratios. And so they are really supporting that. And that was the purpose of their rally. But they also read Tristin's letter at their rally. They invited Ron, and they've spoken to him several times since their loss, and he invited them, I believe, to come to this rally. And so the president spoke, and he was amazing. He was probably my favorite speech there. I thought he was very dynamic. He was great. And there were some other people there from the ONA. And so it was kind of a combined rally to support mental health that is so lacking for nurses, and this Ohio bill for safe staffing. It was kind of a joint effort thing, and it was, tell them where it was.
So it was outside of the Ohio State House, right outside the building.
Beautiful.
I thought it was a beautiful location, a lot of downtown high-rise buildings around us, and it was a beautiful day. Like there was a light breeze. The weather wasn't too cold. It wasn't hot. Which leads me to what I wanted to talk about was first of all, we had a lot of speakers that day, which was amazing. But when I really enjoyed when Tristin's sister came up to talk. Now help me. It's not Sarah, her other sister, the first sister that spoke. I'm trying to remember her name.
Oh God, I think it's Brooke. Is it Brooke?
I think you're right. I think
it's Brooke. That's her stepsister, I believe. Yes.
And all morning there had been a very light breeze, like just enough to keep you comfortable. And as soon as her first sibling came up and started talking, the wind came out of nowhere, this strong breeze, gust. Like a huge gust of wind knocked over all of the signs. Like I have it on video, and it was like it was out of nowhere, like literally.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
Not to say it couldn't happen, but I personally felt like that was Tristin. Like it was just like, hey, I'm here, I'm listening, because it was just super, super cool and something different. Like that strong of a wind to knock over all the signs and stuff. Everyone's hair was like,
and there was a sign really with a picture of Tristin, said in loving memory or something to that effect, behind the speakers. And that, I think, was the first thing that blew over as soon as she started speaking. And she's the one that read the letter, right?
Yeah. And so I talked to her later that day, and her sister told me she probably was mad at me because I was about to share all her secrets of like what we found in her apartment and stuff. She was trying to make a joke out of it. I was
That's
like, no,
I think she's thing. I assume. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any sisters.
I said she was just telling you that she was here and she was listening, which I thought was so. Yeah, the timing was pretty amazing.
It happened again, sort of, when Ron, her dad, gave his speech. Tell them about that.
Yep. Yeah. You mean like with the wind and whatnot again?
No, with the bird. Remember?
What?
The bird? You don't remember the bird? Are you serious?
Did I zone out during the bird? What? I don't remember a bird.
When Ron was speaking, a bird,
Maybe
like I don't know what kind of bird, just came out of nowhere. First bird we saw the whole day, the only bird, and landed right beside him by his feet.
Oh, the tiny bird.
Yes,
wasn't it like a tiny bird?
Yes.
Okay, listen. I forgot about it, but then now as you said it, I remember. We never talked about it though, so that's why I think I kind of forgot about it. But now that you say it, I remember a teeny tiny bird like popping up, and I thought I was the only weird one that kind of was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. Like, where the hell did that bird come from?" I was like,
"No,
but I didn't notice. I didn't know you noticed that."
Yeah. I mean, the timing was because it didn't happen to anyone else, anything like that, you know.
What came into my brain was John Edwards saying, they will always send you signs, little signs here and there, but they will send you signs. And I thought to myself, I wonder if that bird was a sign. But I never said anything because I thought people would think I was nuts. But I'm glad you
they
noticed
it. I think I spoke to Ron about it later, and they noticed it, and they said, yeah, that was probably Tristin.
Oh,
which is very sweet. I know.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
This is this is off topic, but did I tell you that the other day I was sitting and my phone, I get a message, like a notification on my phone, and it says, Gloria Jones has now joined the Alexa app. Feel free to call or message at any time. That's my mother. Gloria Jones is my mother. I was like,
God.
So I still have my mother in my phone. I've never deleted it.
Right.
And it says Gloria Margarita Jones. And I'm like, why in the hell am I getting a notification?
Yeah.
So I called my husband. I'm like, what does that mean? And he was like, of all the things that you tell me, that this one's strange. He's like, unless somebody else got her number. He's like, but even so, why would her name be Gloria Jones? Like, it would be a different name.
Yeah.
So I texted it, the number, because
I did?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
So I'm like, well, I said, this is probably a strange question. This used to be my mother's phone number. She died many years ago. I just got a notification about this number joining my Alexa app. No response.
Oh, they didn't respond? Oh,
no. So I don't.
That's crazy, though. That
what
gives
if nobody
you
has that phone number?
Right.
What if?
Yeah.
Maybe it was a fluke, but in a sign kind of way, like to send me a sign. But I don't know. That's a question for John Edward. Anyways, I just thought that was speaking
things
of signs.
that make
I thought
you
that
go,
was, Yeah.
Hello, what are you doing? We're supposed to be doing a podcast.
Busted. Sorry. I'm doing some online shopping with the most amazing job marketplace through the Vivian Health app. I'm addicted. I'm looking for jobs. Sorry about that, but I like it because I can browse, apply, and connect with recruiters all in one spot. And it's an addictive process. I apologize for zoning out there.
That's okay. You know what? I actually, speaking of recruiters, I love that on the Vivian Health app, employees and recruiters can leave reviews so that we can make informed decisions about where we want to apply.
Oh, you use it too. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. I recommend it. You recommend it. You guys should check out Vivian Health. You can go to Vivian Health on the App Store, or we have a link here in the description of this podcast.
You want to tell them about the Uber ride? The really long Uber ride from the hotel to the rally? I know you want to flame me for this.
Oh, God. Yeah, I do, actually.
I should have not reminded you.
So the night before, I look it up, and it says that the event is like 0.3 miles away or 0.4. I'm like, that's not long. Like, we'll walk that, okay? And Erica, mind you, is like, I'm gonna get an Uber. I don't know what y'all are gonna do. I'm gonna get an Uber. And so she keeps telling me, I was like, Erica, fine. Just if you want to get an Uber, we'll get an Uber. Okay. So as we're driving, I look on the app really quick as we're about to take off and change it to like walking. Literally, if we had walked, it was 425 feet to the event.
But I didn't know it was that then.
It was 0.4 miles like to go around the buildings, but if we had walked, you just go around the corner and you can cut between the buildings, and it was like 450 feet away. And so Erica dropped like $23
on this Uber that we had to get a big one because there was like 5 of us or whatever. Yeah. 6 of
so
us.
I had to rub it in her face. I'm like, I'm so glad you saved us those.
I mean, here's my thought process though. Like, I knew we were going to be there 4 or 5, 6 hours standing all day on the cement, on the steps, and the weather. We have to talk about the weather because we can never predict that apparently. And I'm like, let's conserve our energy. Like, I don't want to walk half a mile there. And then at the end of the day, I'm not going to want to walk half a mile back. But I didn't
They
know it was
surprised us,
feet.
though, and had chairs. They rented chairs.
It did.
That's not
it was
typical.
really nice.
I mean, I'm not a rally queen or anything, but
they had the podium,
I've never been
banners.
I've never been to like a strike that has seating arrangements or anything.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting this rally to have it, but yeah, they had nice. So we got pampered. We got Ubered there. There was chairs for everybody.
There was chairs. It was nice. And then the weather was supposed to be freezing, right? For us, like I live in the desert, you live in Florida. It was supposed to be like 62. We checked it repeatedly. Everyone said it was going to be cold. Ron, everyone that lives there. And so I wore a sweatshirt with a shirt under it. And then as soon as we get there, it feels like it's 89 degrees. And I'm like, I have to get this one shirt off.
So Erica's like, where's the bathroom?
There's no bathroom.
And they're like, no, there wasn't. So she could have walked like way down to go to a porta potty. So I had to help the queen dismantle the undershirt.
I asked you to hold my sweatshirt down so I wasn't like flashing everybody because I was trying to do the thing where you take the shirt off inside, and it was not.
It was basically like you were trying to take your bra off while you have a shirt on, kind of deal.
But I am so tired of weather when we go to these events because I check the weather meticulously. I check it right before we leave, and it always says one thing, and then it ends up being something else.
I have never seen somebody so fucking temperature sensitive as you are. I have never seen such an extreme volatile woman. Okay, when she's cold, god dang, she's cold.
Okay, but you in Everett, Washington, you were even worse than me with the cold.
Okay, it was like sub-Antarctic temperatures, man.
Like,
it was deafening cold. But yeah, so but then if Erica gets hot, she's hot, which is rare. It's rare.
Yeah,
but when she's hot, she's hot.
But I was mad because I was wearing a sweatshirt, and we were trying to wear the We Are All Tristin shirt. So I had a t-shirt version and I had a sweatshirt version. But did I wear the t-shirt? No, because it's supposed to be 62 degrees. So I'm wearing this big sweatshirt, and now I look at the videos and I'm like, I hate the way that looks. I don't know why I always get screwed on the weather every time we go to these things. Anyway, no worries.
So what I want to say, I'm going to go on my soapbox for a moment. So all these nurses want change, right? Everybody wants change. Okay, like we need safe staffing, we need this, we need that, and nobody wants to show up nowhere. Okay,
yep.
I'm just saying.
There were a lot of people that messaged me ahead of time saying, I'm going to be there. And there were a couple that did show up, but there were plenty. Some even posted videos. The one guy on TikTok and Instagram posted a video saying, I'm going to be there and tag me in it and all this. Never showed up.
Now, granted, there's part of me that's like, I kind of get it. It's your one day off or you know, one of your couple days off and you're exhausted. And it's like, you just want to sit home and do nothing, you know? But I think that everybody assumes that everyone else is going. And while it was still a decent turnout, it would have been cool to have a lot more people come out. So.
But the media was there and that was nice.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it got the attention that it needed. And there were people that came, but it would have been nice to see like a massive crowd there. You know, it would have been nice considering how many people claimed they were going to come. Anyway, what about the Impromptu March that we did not know was going to happen?
I thought that was fun.
Really?
Yeah, we marched. We did. We scared some grade school children.
We did. Tell them.
Yeah, they were probably there on a field trip to see the Ohio State House. Yeah, and they're all outside, and here we come
with signs and chanting.
Yeah, we were. What do we want?
Safe staffing. When do we want it? Now.
All their little faces. They had to have been like third or fourth graders were looking at us like, what is going on there? But yeah, we did it became a march. We didn't know. But it was a little more.
Get the memo on that.
A mini march.
We were sitting there listening to speeches, and then all of a sudden they're like, grab a sign. We're going to march. And I'm like, I did not sign up for a march. What the hell is going on? Like, I have to be in the mindset for a march. You know what I mean? So I was kind of caught off guard. And so, yeah, we marched all the way around and the State House is huge. Like, it's huge, you know, and we marched all the way around it. So then we get back. Immediately upon getting back, I'm kind of winded because we've been marching, and they're like, let's call up the next panel to speak. It's going to be Nurse Jessica, Nurse Erica. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I've been here all day, and now I have to speak when I'm winded. Serious. God hates me.
But luckily I went first.
You did. Thank God.
Yeah. They called me up first, and I pulled out my 8-page speech that I prepared thoroughly.
She had nothing prepared. I had 4 pages.
I winged
4 pages.
I winged it.
You were great. You were great.
And I cried.
Actually, I heard from someone who told me afterwards that they saw the video you posted where you got kind of, emotional in part of your speech, and they said that's a side of Jessica I have never seen before, and that was really nice.
Oh, I do have a serious. And when I start crying, it's hard to turn the flood. Erica knows that. When I get emotional, start crying, the floodgates to just keep on going. It's hard to turn them off. But yeah, there is that, believe it or not, there's that side of me. Anytime I talk about having to leave the bedside, it still bothers me, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's almost cathartic. It's almost good to do it. You know, it's good to, kind of remember those feelings and remember at the same time everybody that's like currently right now still stuck in those shoes, man, where it's still not any better. Still horrible ratios, and it's like, damn, are we going to get anywhere? Like, come on. So, well, that was nice of whoever said that.
It was. I'll tell you offline who said it. But
okay.
It was. I'm always impressed with you because you don't prepare for that stuff at all. I stress out for weeks. I write things. I practice saying it out loud. I record myself. I time myself. I print it on cardstock so it's on like heavy paper that won't be flapping in the wind. Like, I do all the things. And Jessica's like,
it's true.
I'm just going to show up. And I'm so jealous because I could not. I mean, I don't know. I've never tried, but the thought of that is
I've never
scary.
Looked at your papers, but I almost envision like you have parentheses, like pause for claps.
No, I totally do. And I highlight areas.
Oh my God.
No, it doesn't say pause for claps. It's like an underlined place to pause for added emphasis. Not for applause.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to get applause.
I highlight the applause.
So like I can keep track of where I'm reading. Like I do everything. And she's like, I'm just going to go up here and talk and then get a standing ovation.
I just wing it. I just wing it. But we're all different, you know? But yours is always good because it's very like powerful. Like the end of each paragraph has like a power.
This is what you need to do.
Like we're good in different ways. Like, you know? So, but you always have all the facts written down and shit. And I'm like, I don't know. Go to Erica for that. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Let's change gears and go to the problem of the week. Problem of the week. We're going to talk about, let's talk about some cyber conspiracy. Is it a conspiracy or is it the truth? I don't know.
Who knows at this point? It could be a conspiracy. Yeah.
I don't know the story. Start from the beginning. Act like I know nothing, Erica. Tell me this whole thing.
So,
because I don't really know much.
So today is the 15th. This probably won't air for a few more days, but a week ago on the 8th, I believe, last Wednesday, which is right when we were like leaving to travel out of state. So I kind of haven't had a chance to do a lot about this, but I'm finally catching up. So there's been a huge cyber attack against Ascension Healthcare across the country. They are the largest Catholic hospital chain in the U.S. They're in multiple states. And it's this huge like cyber attack, the ransom thing. The rumor is that it's the Russians. I don't know if anyone has taken responsibility.
Are the Russians against the Catholics or are they against Ascension Hospital? Why is the Russians targeting just
because
just
I think
facility?
That's who it was last time. Like, this is not the first time Ascension has been a victim of ransomware like this. It was over a year ago or so. I think they had the Kronos, their timekeeping system, crash, and so they think that it's the same people, perhaps, is what some of the employees are being told or think. And so they're a week in to having no systems in place, and this is terrifying. So picture this: you're a nurse, you're at work, everything crashes. Of course, no warning. Everything crashes, and you cannot get any meds out of the Pyxis. So you have to override every single thing. Every single med has to be overridden. Okay, you cannot scan anything. You can't scan armbands. You can't scan medications. So right there off the top, all of your safety checks are out the window, right? And that immediately makes me think of Redonda. That was the situation that Redonda Vought was in, where they had to override all the medications for weeks. The hospital knew about it, did nothing, and they couldn't scan. Like, your license is in jeopardy. They're removing all of our basic checkpoints, our safety checks, right? They're 100% paper charting. They have no tube system in a lot of places. So every single thing that has to be sent somewhere, now the nurse has to leave their patients, leave the unit to go run the labs down to lab the blood or whatever, nothing is operational. There's no orders in the computer. They cannot access anything. So they're handwriting orders, which I'm sure you remember doing that back in the day. I certainly do. But they're not set up.
I was born when the time of Florence Nightingale. Yeah.
Did you not ever do paper charting?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I loved paper charting.
I figure, yeah, me too.
I'm being honest. I'm saying I'm older than dirt. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah, I
that's how I learned. Okay. I loved it. I honestly,
I started electronic.
Once you get used to computers, yes, you like it and appreciate it. But I'm one of those people that don't like change, so it was hard for me to transition from paper to all this computerized.
It wasn't hard for me. I started on electronic at my first hospital and the second hospital. Then the third one was like in the dinosaur era and had to go back to paper charting for years because they wouldn't catch up.
When did you graduate nursing school? What year?
Oh, God, it's like 20 years ago. I don't know, something like that.
I graduated in 2000, so maybe you were a couple years after me.
After you,
but
yeah, something like 2003.
Anyways, our
something
hospital
like that.
had no. I was there for like a good 5 years where it was paper, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
anywho,
they have all paper charting, which for me and you, maybe that we're like, woohoo, we know that's faster, right? I don't give me a flow chart. I don't care
if you've never done it.
But the most nurses now are newer nurses, and so they don't have the experience doing that. So I can see where that would be super intimidating. But now they're writing orders in the old 3-ring binder kind of charts. They're putting Post-it notes on the charts to let people know if there's a new order. It's like there's no alert popping up in the computer.
You mean like back in the old days?
Yes. Yeah, remember how we had the things where you had to like the dial? You would get like red for stat
outside the door.
Yeah, some places did that.
If there was we had flags, or we would kind of fold a page over in the the chart, to kind of flip one over if there was a new order to sign off on. The doctor would flip
to redline it. Yep.
Yeah. I remember
so they can't look up like H&Ps. They can't look up anything. They're having to be dependent on, hopefully lab is going to fax them results. They can't look it up. Internal phone systems in some places are down or were down for a few days, so they couldn't page doctors for anything. So then they're relying on personal cell phones, which that's a huge issue, like HIPAA, right?
They're
not necessarily bringing in extra staff to accommodate this. And, you know,
of course they're not.
Why would you, right? Even though everything is literally taking twice as long and no one knows what to do, would they staff better? No, of course not. And here's the one that really pissed me off. I heard from one nurse, or more than one, that is like, yeah, so in the midst of all this, they keep coming up to us and handing us pieces of paper and saying like, hey, you need to do this for safety reasons. And it's the stupid shit like the fall risk score or the Columbia suicide score or like, you know, the violence against healthcare worker or whatever score. Like,
as if we couldn't just really let this slide.
The priority
we couldn't let this slide this
right
time
now. Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
and that's the kind of shit. That's the stuff that they do, right? All the time. They have no idea what nurses are dealing with or how to prioritize.
There's somebody sitting in their office that's been making these forms, and they're like, it's time. I finally can utilize.
This is time for the rollout.
Yes, here. I have the scale. You can use the Glasgow scale right here.
Yeah.
I can just see them coming and running.
Can you imagine how pissed you'd be, right? Some places the alarm systems are not working. So if you're on like a central monitor, they're not working. There's all sorts of horror stories of patients that are dying and suffering. You know, totally avoidable situations because all the systems are down.
This sounds like a Grey's Anatomy episode. Didn't they have one like that?
I think they probably
where they were cyber-attacked or
yeah. I mean, it's basically a crisis situation. Like it absolutely is. We don't know, has patient information been compromised?
I would have probably.
And just the tension among nurses, right? Can you imagine how hard it must be, how worried you must be about your patients and about your license? And we're a week in and there's no end in sight. Ascension is and here's the worst part.
Wait, it's still going on?
Oh yes.
What?
A week in.
Whoa.
Yeah. No end in sight.
Wait a minute.
And they're saying it's going to be weeks to months until it's fixed. There is no end in sight because essentially they're being held ransom. Like they have to pay whatever millions of dollars or whatever the Russians or whomever is.
The Russians.
That's what they think it is.
Poor Russians.
I know,
Why
right?
is it gonna be? It's probably somebody named like
Jim
somebody
Bob.
named Bill that's probably down the road. He's probably in a little cave somewhere. Yeah, going.
Yeah.
So it's the Russians.
They have to pay this. And then it comes down to are they willing to pay it? And how long are they going to call their bluff while they bring in their own security experts and try, you know what I mean? So in the meantime, this just keeps happening. And they're supposed to be paid this Friday for the first time since this happened. And so the hospital is claiming it has not affected like their Kronos, their payroll system, but we'll see.
That'll be next.
We'll see next. Because they have a history of that.
I didn't know this was still occurring. Yes. And I also didn't know that it was a real ransom. Are you serious?
Yes. That's what these things are. These cyber attacks. Like, it's not just like a systems failure.
Where it pops up on the computer and it's like, hello, you have until 11 a.m. on next Thursday, or we will take down Kronos as well. Kronos will go down too.
But Ascension is saying, like, they're freely admitting, you know, it's a cyber attack, it's a ransomware thing, whatever. But here's the part that just is so inflammatory, I think, as to anyone that is dealing with this right now. Ascension immediately put out public statements saying, this is not a problem. We were prepared for this. All of our employees are trained in this. Everything's fine. Yeah, and all the employees are like, the fuck we are?
What, they're trained to know how to use a pen, a pencil and a pen and paper?
Yeah,
what are they
like
trained
a packet
in?
of paper, you know, paper forms instead of electronic, essentially. But no one can truly be prepared for this, especially when you're dealing with younger nurses that have never had to deal with this, and every system in the hospital is down. I mean, it's really kind of a nightmare. They can't sustain this.
Shit.
Yeah. So the Enema of the Week award, no surprise, goes to Ascension. Now, maybe it's not their fault that they are the victim of this, but it certainly is their fault when they are telling the public everything is fine, everyone's trained in this. That's some bullshit. And if I were you and I live in a place where there's an Ascension hospital right now, if you have any other choice of hospital, do not go there as a patient unless you have no other option. Yeah. Go to any other hospital.
God only knows what you're gonna what's gonna I would run. Yeah. Don't walk to the next facility that's not associated.
If you have any other option, don't go in there. And how dare Ascension not? They should be, I think some places are, but not across the board. They should be offering huge bonuses right now to get extra staff to come in. They should be basically double staffing because all of this stuff is so time consuming. They should be having someone like double check everything because you're doing it manually. They should be offering huge incentives.
I feel bad for the staff. I feel bad for the patients too, because I'm sure things are not happening in a timely fashion at all.
No,
and that's awful for the staff. And I'm sure they're giving them the same workload. Oh my gosh.
Well, and their suicide risk score and their fall risks.
Yeah, exactly. And
so if I were a nurse working there,
85 million admission database questions, some of the stuff they've come up with.
I would be charting every shift in every patient somewhere at some point, like the beginning of the shift and probably the end of the shift. One line about this cares for this patient occurring during an active cyberware ransomware attack where all systems are down. I would get including
the nurse's brain is down too.
Yeah, they're going to probably retaliate and tell you can't do that. Yes, you can. Your charting is your charting. I'm not saying there can't be retaliation, but I'm saying that is what I would do to protect myself, so that if and when something ever goes to court, that's what you see.
This has ever happened? When did this?
It happens all the time these days. All the time. There was just that big. What was the billing company that bills all the health insurances just went down? They were the victim of the same kind of a thing, a cyber attack. No,
was it Cigna Insurance?
No, I can't remember. It might have been. I can't remember the name. This is not the first time. There's been plenty of others, but it's becoming more and more common the last 4 years or so.
So the Enema of the Week award, I guess, goes to
Ascension Healthcare.
The higher ups that don't give a shit.
Yeah. And some of them are on vacation, I've heard. Managers.
Oh my God.
This is not the time.
Are those the ones flying around on a jet?
No. That was a different one.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe they were really, really getting away and just flying around. I guess maybe by the next podcast we'll know if Ascension ever settled their cyber war.
Yeah,
if they paid out.
If there's an update, I'll put it in the description because this one won't air until next Tuesday or Monday if you're a patron subscriber.
Until next time, right, Erica? On the next Nurses
Uncorked.
Uncorked.